tutorial, I'm going to show you how I created this half tutu, half football jersey costume for my best friend's gender reveal. This will not be beginner friendly. I will not be breaking down simple things. I'm just going to show you the process of how to create this. Start off by finding your fabric. I found whatever was lying around in my office. I couldn't find any blue neoprene, so I used this white neoprene and found some blue netted tulle to go over it to make it look a little bit more blue. I found some glitter tulle, some regular blue tulle, some lace, pink jersey knit. I just literally dug out whatever I could find for this. Now, you need to cut out a circle skirt from your neoprene fabric. You only need a half a circle skirt for the measurement of half of your waist because it's only going to be on half of your body. Once you've cut that out, do the same thing with your tulle fabric. You need to cut the same exact thing out. Yes, that is a book I'm using as a weight. And you're gonna hear my baby in the back, by the way, guys. And he's gonna jump in the screen a couple of times because I'm a mom and I can get nothing done in peace and quiet. If you're not a mom yet, just wait. If you are a mom, I don't know how you do it, guys. Okay, now that that's done, you can fold it up and set it aside. Next, we need to create our shorts to go under the skirt half. So you want to take a pair of pants that fit you well. These are non-stretch, and you just shorten it to be the length of shorts, outline it, and cut it out. It's really that simple. You need to make sure that you have it on fold though. The side seam is on fold, so you don't have a side seam unless you don't care. But I cared and I did not want a side seam. But go ahead and cut that out. Next, we're going to work on the top. Because I want the football jersey to be the same shape as this top that I picked here, I used it also to stencil the other half to know where the neckline would end. I used that as a point of reference. Just shorten the shirt to where your waistline, your natural waistline is going to be. But you just cut, it's the same thing. You just outline it and cut. Keep it on fold just like before if you don't want a side seam. You can cut that out. When you're done cutting that out, you can open it up and cut it out against some netted tulle. I should mention that I'm doubling my layers, so it's a little bit more of an opaque blue. So it should give it a better color. That side's white, this side's blue. That side's white, this side is blue. Looks much better. All right, moving on to the jersey side. So I took those same pair of pants and laid them out onto my pink fabric and just decided how short I wanted it. So I just cuffed the bottom a little bit because I didn't want them to be a full pant. And the same thing as before, you're just going to outline that around your pant. Make sure you leave enough for your seam allowance and draw it out and cut it out. As I mentioned before, I am a mom. My child thinks it's funny to see me trying to cut stuff and to run over. And then he wants to play and choke me and things like that. So this happens pretty often. I never can get anything done. Aw, hi. All right, get out. Surprise, he's back. I'm not going to show you how many times he interrupted me working, but please note, it happened a lot. But we got the piece cut out. This is for the football jersey. Here's my legging piece. Now you want to take that top and you want to set it down on fold and lay it out smooth so you can get your shape, so you can outline the full shape. You're going to want to outline without the sleeve, obviously, first, and then separately you're going to outline a piece for the sleeve and cut those out separately. And JJ's back. If there are any moms who sew who are watching, what do y'all do with y'all children? I have an office. I usually sew in it, but I couldn't this time, so I was in the hallway. So he was going extra crazy. But even when I'm in my office, if I keep the door closed, he cries. If I leave it open, he barges in. What do y'all do with y'all kids? This is crazy. All right, all your main pieces are cut. Time to start sewing. So JJ is testing all the settings on my sewing machine before I get to use it. But first things first, I just went ahead and pinned my pieces together and did some base stitches around the borders for the neoprene that needed the blue tulle against it. I just wanted to make sure that they were together to make my sewing experience a little easier. So I started with the jersey side. After that, I pinned the shoulders together, and then I pinned the sleeves on and sewed that down, and then I sewed the side shut. I will admit I skipped some footage because I was in a monster rush, you guys. Like, I was working against the clock. I had to wake my husband up for work at 1:30 in the morning, so I was super duper rushing. But yeah, and then once the shirt was sewn, I sewed the jersey shirt down the front to attach it to the tutu part of the shirt, and this is what it should look like. This is a good time also to just stop and try it on. I like to just in the middle of sewing stop, try things on, make sure my lines are smooth, things like that. Okay, one of my other last minute decisions was to do a little fake knee pad. I just took a neoprene and some extra pink fabric, cut out a circle and put it on the knee. But yeah, and then I sewed my pants and my short together. This is what they look like. A little baggy at my waist, but I like that, so I have the room to get in it. I cuffed the short because I really didn't know how short or long I wanted it. Knee pad sits well. Everything's looking pretty decent. All right, now we're gonna get to work on the tutu. If you can't see very well, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna explain what I'm doing. I'm just taking my glitter tool and bunching it up together and sewing across the bunch. That's how I'm doing my gathers. There are many tutorials of this on YouTube, including Anita Rivers. She has a good one, but this is what it will look like when you've done it. You're just doing a quick little gather, and this is what that first row should look like. I did it about halfway down the skirt, and that's work. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. Once you've done that, I lost footage of this too, but you can go ahead and cut it to length. How long you want it, you can determine that and cut it. And this is what it looks like once I've cut it. All right, I'm gonna show you how I cut the second row. I went and sewed a second row of gathered tulle, and now I'm cutting the excess off that I do not want. You just pull the tulle taut and cut it at the length you want it. It's not difficult at all. Just try to keep your hand a little steady so you don't make your tulle look a little choppy and the cuts are straight. But it's pretty simple. I'm going to show you guys a quick tip of how I keep my skirt even with the tulle. I pin the ends of the tulle to the ends of the skirt. I pin the middle, and then I find the middle of each of those sections, pin the tulle down, and then that way I know to gather up until those points. So my tulle comes out pretty even. But here's me fluffing that next row out and cutting that to the length I want as well. So I have a nice multi-layered tulle skirt is what I was going for. Big and fluffy. You can do as many rows as you want, but 3 was more than enough. It was pretty fluffy and I was in the way a lot when I wore it, so it's pretty good. Alright, I felt I needed a little bit more detail, so I took some extra tulle that was laying around and I wanted to gather it. So that's what I did. I just folded it and laid it out and gather it in the same method that I did earlier. Just bunch it up, sew over it, bunch it up, sew over it, bunch it up, sew over it. Simple. I took that piece, pinned it onto the bodice of the tutu half, got a good look at it, and then I simply just sewed that down once I liked the placement. Alright, so at this point, I found out I didn't have to rush anymore because my hubby was taking off for work, so I kind of skipped recording certain things, but now I'm back. So I'm going to show you how I made the number. I just cut out a rectangle and slashed off the corners, a rectangle in the middle, and then you cut that out, pin that down, and then sew it. Pretty simple, out of the neoprene fabric. Okay, the original audio is really low because I was whispering because my baby was asleep. But I was just saying it's 5:15 in the morning. I'm exhausted, but I finally finished this costume for my best friend's gender reveal tomorrow. Well, now that day. And I am going to sleep. Do y'all work till the crazy hours like me? Why do I do this? Why do we do this to ourselves? Going to sleep. And this is the final look. Touchdowns or tutus was the theme. I think it came out pretty decent. Now y'all know I was cutting up in this costume all day cutting up. And yes, I'm twerking. All right, I'm gonna go. All right, we're all done. Thanks for watching, you guys. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done it. Like this video, go watch my other videos. Comment in this video, let me know what kind of content it is you guys want to see in the future. I have a bunch of tutorials that's already been recorded, so hopefully I get to put those out for you guys really soon. All right, be blessed.